So I just did a talk at a real estate company, and I hand my forms out, my worksheets, things like that, and I'm handing them out, and it says, the Wheel of Life on there. And every year, different sales reps, things like that, come and they pitch the Tony Robbins. And it was kind of unexpected how I entered into this company today. I'm running a meeting for somebody else, and as I'm handing it out, and this is in an upscale part of town. I'm pretty close to Beverly Hills, and very upscale agents that they dressed it a certain way, and they have kind of this attitude. And as I hand out this form to this woman, it says Tony Robbins on it, worksheet, and she goes, "Oh no, not this again." And I just, I was polite and warm, and I'm handing everything out, and I got a few responses with the glassed over look in eyes. And as I'm sitting there, and the manager, the leader, the boss is, going into their meeting and covering what they need to cover, they put together a small portion of time. It was a third of the time that I'm usually allotted. So as I'm thinking there, how can I really make this impactful for her, for everybody there, and what concepts do I need to really give? And I was thinking at first, like, how do I reframe this person, or pre-frame what I'm going to talk about, or deframe, as in destroy this person's frame? And as my own emotions get up, I start thinking about how I can make an example of this person, like the bad apple, like, all these metaphors that I could really intertwine into my talk to isolate this person and destroy their frame and make an example of them. And then I thought, what does this person really need? You see, a belief is a feeling of absolute certainty. And as influencers, as people that want to go out into the world, we go up against a lot of other people's belief systems where they feel absolutely certain about something. And so we need to make sure to be powerful in our communication that our certainty is so strong it overcomes their doubt, or our sense of certainty induces a sense of doubt about how they're thinking in their model of the world. And so we can do that by being powerful and forcing people. But in that great book by David Hawkins, Power versus Force, we realize that there are emotions that vibrate that really make somebody powerful and not forceful. And the highest of that is love and peace and enlightenment. And so as I prep, as I do, I sit there and I go through my process, 3-step process that I go through mentally and emotionally to check in, because I need to make sure my channel is clear and without judgment or prejudice or my own sense of self-gain, really show up to serve people. And I thought, about beliefs. What are my beliefs, limiting beliefs? Because being negative people, that's caused from a limiting belief system. That action has been preordained by a decision, which has been preordained by a thought, and that thought is preordained by a belief, or in this case, a limiting belief, a belief that would limit my accessibility to access myself and to powerfully engage as human beings. So what is the empowering belief? What is the antithesis? And what does this person really need? My belief was, this person probably needs to, they need me to be present and caring and kind and sincere the most. This person needs to laugh more than anybody. This person just needs not to be judgment, feel people judging them or anything like that. This person needs my most empathy. This person needs the most caring. And so how can I show up in this space, not of pressure, but really show up understanding and appreciative of this person's model of the world, not judge it or try to change it, but really connect and create a space which allows them to step into their own sense of power, authenticity, presence, awareness, growth, aliveness, connection, and really allow them to step in a place to feel empowered, not by themselves, but for themselves, for reasons bigger than themselves, be it their family or their community or humanity, to really get outside their own negative emotions that we all feel at times, and I felt that. So I thought, what are the beliefs that are going to empower me? And I felt those, and I felt certain about them. So I didn't focus on the words, but I operated from that place of absolute certainty for others. And I transformed that room today, and they let me stay a lot longer. And then, the talk was at 9:30. I started. It's 12:09, and I just left. So that just gives you an insight. And fortunately, I had the time today. I don't always have the time, but we make time for what's important. And I could have eaten or connected with some other friends, but in that moment, you just serve. And you do that when you really get outside yourself. magic happens like it did for me today. And so hopefully you'll instill and ingrain some of these concepts into your own life, your own communication, your own sense of presence and awareness, and your own actions, thoughts and deeds, and ideally your own beliefs, because you won't have to worry about the how to as much as you feel why to. You know, once you're really connected to your why is important not only for you but for others, more of you will show up in that moment.